Hey guys, how's it going? It's Daniels here. Welcome to episode number 38 of this NHL 22 Minnesota Wild franchise mode in the state of hockey here on my channel. If you guys have missed episodes up to this point, head up into that top corner. If you do enjoy this one, show your support down below by dropping a like, subscribing, and hitting notifications. And of course, leave comments to possibly get featured like these guys. So, a couple episodes ago, we had a comment from Dub Squad Gaming saying, "Love the vids, keep up the good work. I think you should try to trade for Sebastian Cossa if rating in game is good. If you're looking for a good, dependable, or good depth in my franchise mode." I think he was trying to say, I don't know what exactly he was trying to say. Apart from that, Sebastian Cossa got up to a 92, which is a very high rating, and of course there's a plane taking off too. Why wouldn't there be? The one time I leave my windows open. Alright. Anyways, let's just check out how Cossa's looking. I guess he wouldn't really be a skater. He's an 82 graded. Interesting. Okay, so bit of an interesting one there as to why Cossa isn't really all that good. As far as elite goalies in the league go, there's only a handful of them. And really, rating-wise, yeah, rating-wise is not really too good, unfortunately. So, Aguazin, yeah, he's a good goalie. Spencer Knight is only 79 rated, apparently. How is it what? Maybe we trade for Spencer Knight. That could be a move. Especially with little to no value left either. But apart from that, Dukestrom also said the franchise guy in this draft could be a perfect player for your left wing first line. Maybe get him. And looking at that, you know, that is actually a potential move that we could make. I'm not set on trading up, but with a player like Karpotsev, he would fit in quite nicely to our first line. So maybe that's a move we perform here in the upcoming draft or so. I mean, I wouldn't necessarily want to trade away a guy like Rossi or Boldy yet, but that might potentially have to be the move just with cap space and how things are looking with this team and how much growth we're getting out of our team. With all of those things in mind, you know, like we've got players coming up the system, that's not an area of worry. It's more so just a matter of, do we get the return? I mean, obviously with a franchise winger, you would get the return, even if you were to trade away a couple players. But looking at our contracts, we also have players expiring here. Big name players too, by the names of Michkov, Marco Rossi, Trey, and even, you know, guys like Mario Cote and, yeah, like Zilkin and McGinn. There are good players in here that we are going to have to extend. And along with that, there are also a couple goalies here. 3 exactly. So, Wallstedt is going to be looking at 5.4 million, 85% of that. Strudwick's going to be nice and cheap. Michkov, not so much. He wants a contract till he's 34, which is fair. And 14.55 million is a huge chunk of salary to pay him. Rossi isn't exactly worth 12 million. Trey is questionable at 10, but you know, he's not the worst contract ever for that price. I mean, 10 million for Oduya makes sense because he's been absolutely phenomenal as a defenseman. But apart from that, you know, we'll have to see and try to figure out how much we're paying these guys here. Alright guys, so just looking at contract prices here and working with like an 85% rule on all of these, I think it obviously makes the most sense to go and look at players that, you know, are going to be staples in this team for a while still. So guys like Trey, Matvei, Michkov. I mean, Marco Rossi should be around for a long time still, but at the same time on his expiring deal and the price he's asking for, don't get me wrong, he has been a phenomenal player for this team. But at the same time, you know, I just don't quite think he's worth $12.5 million at 31 years old. So As unfortunate as that is, and as good of a player as he has been, I would prefer to keep other guys around a little bit longer over him, guys that are going to be a little bit more physically set to perform big time in the playoffs. I mean, don't get me wrong, Rossi's having a run right now. 24 points in 20 games is one of his best playoffs we've seen in a long time. So, with that in mind, maybe we do extend him. I mean, either way we're going to extend him. It's just going to be more a matter of, do we trade him before the draft or do we trade him at the draft? That might potentially be what happens. So we'll do that at a rule of 85%. We're going to be looking at a $10.61 million contract about. So 10.625, close enough, but still a very big price tag for him. Looking at Michkov, same kind of deal as far as huge price tag, but I am actually willing to pay this one. And we're looking at a $12.375 million deal here for him until he is 34. So that is another huge deal. So just with those two, we've pretty much spent almost all of our cap space, which is crazy, but that's how it goes sometimes. So apart from that, the only other guy that I think we could potentially trade here coming up is a guy like Seth Jenner. Don't get me wrong, he's been decent for us, but we have other guys like Ruslan Kvasha who could step in and play for him without any real loss of ability there. So apart from that, we'll probably extend Wallstedt, Strudwick, and a few of these other guys too. We just don't have the cap capacity to do it right now necessarily. And for a guy like Trey Weller, a $9.01 million deal is really good. So 9.025, that's just a little bit more than he's making right now. And at 90 overall, he has just been a stud for this team. So, like, look at that, 99 shot blocking, 97 body checking, 96 strength. He's just an absolute unit on the ice. That's why I love Trey Weller, is because he's just been so good for this team for so long. So apart from that, yeah, we will have to sign a few players coming up here. But as long as we make our moves right after the Stanley Cup Finals, I think we're going to be just fine. So let's get into this. We're taking on the New York Rangers along with the Bridgeport Islanders. And well, this should be interesting. So let's get to it. First things first, this game against Bridgeport. And we start off with a 5-3 win. Mark Paris is having a run right now, 10 goals in 14 games. All right, against the New York Islanders in game number 1. First off, we're going to get Michkov, Rossi, and Weller. Beautiful. And we win 3-2 in overtime. Perfect. All right, so a tight game there, but we do get it done. We also win 4-3 to go up 2-0 against Bridgeport in the Calder Cup Finals. All right, into game 2 now of the Stanley Cup Finals. And we will win 4-3 in overtime yet again. All right, both teams up 2-0. We're looking like we're right on pace for a perfect season here. And nothing's really slowing the Minnesota Wild down at this point. So, all right, into game 3 of the Calder Cup Finals. And at home, we're going to lose 2-1. All right, so maybe it's home ice advantage in there. That's a bit of a strange one, but okay. All right, and into game number 3 of the Stanley Cup Finals. And we'll lose 3-0 as well. All right, so away ice seems to be our problem there. Sven Nilstorp, just about a point per game now for our team. And into game number 4, we look to go up 3-1. Is that going to be the case? I mean, we'll see once I get out of the calendar, because I did not mean to click the calendar. I meant to click advanced day. But let's see. So, yes, we will. We go up 3-1. Perfect. And in the Stanley Cup Finals, do we go up 3-1 as well? No, we do not. We lose 6-5 in overtime, and the New York Rangers come flying back and tie up the series. So, oh boy, here we go. But in game number 5 here, the Iowa Wild could potentially get the Calder Cup in this game. And they start off down 1-0. Second period is still a 1-0 game. And let's see if they can tie this thing up or what's going to happen. If we get down to the final 5 minutes or so, I might jump in, but really at this point, it doesn't look like we're going to get one. Power play. Yes, there we go. Andy Johnston. That is a huge goal at this point. And not much time left here in regulation. Down to the final minute. And we will indeed be going to overtime. So let's see if we can get a golden goal here from one of our Iowa Wild players. This should be interesting, but let's see how it goes. So, how do their alternates look? And Ko turns the puck over. Lundin walking in, and Nicholas Lundin ends it off. Nice and easy, real quick. And on away ice, the Iowa Wild will get it done for their second Calder Cup of this franchise mode. So there you have it. Nicholas Lundin out of everybody. Don't get me wrong, Nicholas Lundin is a phenomenal player. He's also bigger than I was expecting for some reason. I thought he was like 5'11". Unless that was Kruger. That might have been Thomas Kruger, actually. Yeah, because Kruger's massive. He's like 6'4". So, yeah, what a... that was a quick OT, actually. Normally our OTs don't last that long, but yeah. I think it might have been Kruger, actually, that scored that one. So, there you have it. The handshake lineup, all of the good stuff here going on. You guys have seen it before. But yeah, not really anything super special here. We were expecting Iowa to go pretty far, but as a 5th seed, there were technically better teams, one of them being Bridgeport, but that was not the case. So there you have it. Our captain, I believe, 43 is... I don't even know who it is. Is it Paris? It might not be. No, it's Connor Duar, right? That makes sense. So yeah, Connor Duar will get to lift it, all of those guys. You guys have seen this celebration before. It's not quite as extensive as the Stanley Cup one. But who got our game winner there? Was it Nicholas Lundin? I think it must have been, yeah. But yeah, just like with the size and skill Lundin's got here, a play like that, yeah, we've got a very good player there, Nicholas Lundin, for the future. So keep an eye on him. He might be up in our team by next year. And there you have it. The Iowa Wild are your Calder Cup champions. So tied up 2-2. We now got to gruel out a two more wins here against this New York Rangers team. And don't get me wrong, this Rangers team is absolutely stacked. They are a very good team. And it makes sense as to why they're putting up such a good fight. Obviously, they don't have quite as crazy a team as we do, but even then, they still have got Dougie Hamilton, Rasmus Sandin, Adam Fox, Braden Sim looks amazing too. Like, they've got some seriously good players in here, and they've got better goaltending than us, which is the other issue that we will likely continue to struggle with here as we get through this Stanley Cup final. So, into game number 5 now. We're just going to sim this one. I'm not going to play it, but I want to see what happens. So, first period, 1-1 game, goals from Foligno and Sim. Second period, still 1-1. We're getting outshot by 6 shots. And as we head into the third period, how's it going to go? We're down 2-1. Morgan Frost scores for the Rangers. And this is not good. This could be our first home ice game that we give up if we don't get a goal back here. So, all right, come on, boys. Just something. Just some shots. There we go. Mario Cote ties it up. We are tied 2-2, heading into the final frame here, and we will head to OT. So, in overtime, 3-2. Let's go. Danny Zilkin, out of all players, gets the game winner right off the bat in overtime, and Wallstedt has a phenomenal night as well, getting first star. So we go up 3-2. It's a good place to be. You want to win game 5 in a 2-2 series. And into game 6 now, we've got the stranglehold here. We could potentially eliminate the New York Rangers. So first period, it's 3-0 right off the bat. Gaspard Lapierre and Tony Marcourt getting the job done. 3 goals on 13 shots. It's not even close. Second period, still 3-0. We'll jump in and play the third just for fun, but really, this is our cup to lose at this point. But with 2 seconds left, we're going to get a buzzer. Go figure. And of course, the Stanley Cup is out. Why wouldn't it be? I'm pretty sure that's not how Addison Square Garden looks, though. is that there's fans sitting right in front of the cup. I don't think that's how it works, but alrighty then. So 1 second left now on the clock. And Sexton's going to fire, and there you have it. The Minnesota Wild are five-time Stanley Cup champions. Absolutely amazing. You'll love to see it. And of course, we complete a perfect season with Iowa also winning the Calder Cup. So, just a big year from the whole team. It was dang nearly an absolutely perfect season, but you know, hopefully this cup win will help with the team morale and everything a little bit. And really, we played phenomenal. This team just continued to win games when it mattered the most, and overall we get it done. So not much else to say there. I wonder who's gonna win the Conn Smythe though. That should be an interesting one. But we've got some phenomenal players on this team, of course. Weller, Lapierre, guys like that. Obviously, Lafreniere is just an absolutely amazing player too. But who's going to get the Conn Smythe? I would predict Marco Rossi, but I wouldn't be surprised if a guy like Michkov or Foligno wins it. And no, it's going to be what? Magnus Oduya gets the Conn Smythe. That is phenomenal. A defenseman winning the Conn Smythe. That doesn't happen very often. And that is something. That is something special there. So yeah, Oduya. Oduya out of every player on our team. Magnus Oduya. What a guy. Wow. And of course, Boldy gets to lift the cup. And it's just such an amazing feeling to win with the team. Of course, oh, hands it off to Brendan Carlson out of everybody. I mean, I guess it's his second Stanley Cup, isn't it? We didn't win last year, did we? We won 2 years ago in 2030-31. Which was the year that we got Carson on the team, was it not? Yeah, it was. Okay, so he's won a cup before. If not 2, yeah, okay. But yeah, Magnus Oduya, what? Tony Marcourt. This might be, yeah, this is Marcourt's first cup. For sure. So he, yeah. That's good to see. You like to see that. Of course, handed off to Wallstedt, our 5-time cup champion. He's just such an amazing goalie. For what we need. He always gets the job done, and absolutely zero complaints from about Jesper Wallstedt. So there you go. He has really stamped his name on this franchise. Honestly, the Swedes in general on this team have stamped their names on this franchise. But so have the Russian players, so have the American players. We've got quite a group of players here, but there you have it. 5-time Stanley Cup champions, the Minnesota Wild. Get the job done. Jesper Lapierre with the 2 assists there. I do find it interesting. A guy like Oduya, who is +2 with no points, won the Conn Smythe. But, you know, Wallstedt gets the shutout. He very easily probably could have had the Conn Smythe too. But Michkov had 27 points and didn't win it. So that's got to mean that, like, Oduya had 25 and 26. That's pretty impressive for a defenseman still. All right, so there you have it. How about Tony Marcourt as well? He put up some phenomenal numbers for a 23-year-old youngster. Yeah, wow. That's insane, actually. 21 points in your debut playoff run. That's very impressive. So Lapierre wasn't quite as good as I'd hoped, but he was still okay. Obviously, Rossi was playing with all those other guys on the top line, so that makes a difference. Apart from that, you know, we are going to have to move at least 1 or 2 players. I just don't know who those players are necessarily going to be yet. But yeah, overall, the team is looking quite good. I'm happy where we're at, and we're going to get to a draft here as well. And I think we've got a pretty good draft class lined up here, to be honest. Even if we don't make a trade, it still looks okay. And I'm just trying to figure out, who do we trade? So if we go Boldy there, it is possible to get Rossi out. I think that makes the most sense overall, but we'll have to see as well, because I don't know if we're necessarily going to be able to run +5s like this over the next year or two as well. It'll be interesting to see. I mean, if we bring in another sniper, kind of like what's the guy's name there? We bring in a sniper like Karpotsev. That's going to be a big move. So anyways, let's see how this draft lottery goes. We're going to be picking 32nd, but of course, that's the screen we love to see. The perfect season. All right. And who's going to win it? I guess I got to do more scouting first. Also, guys, something else I absolutely have to show you here is our progress reports, because the team put up just such a ridiculous season that I have to point these things out. So first off, Dominguez and Brusau grew like weeds. You love to see that. And yeah, the team's just in good hands with them as well. But look at this. Emiliano Mikkelsen puts up a 125-point QM JHL season at just 19 years old. That is absolutely insane. Like, you never see that. And the fact that Mikkelsen is up to an 80 rating at 19 years old just blows me away. So, yeah. And how about a guy like Yuri Zykov as well? 77 rated at 20. He's going to be in our AHL team in no time at all. Kirill grew quite nicely as well. I'm quite happy with his growth. And then, of course, there is Sharma's looking good. Latipov's didn't play, but looks okay still. Hornquist up to a 74. And also, how about, I didn't show you guys, but how about this season from Yuri Zykov? 62 points in 56 games as a playmaking winger in Russia. That's insane. 67 points in 66 games for Jared Rasmussen is pretty decent too. It's a huge improvement over where he was just at. And yeah, we got Rasmussen where? Like 7th round? He might turn out still. That is very possible at this point. So keep an eye on those guys. We landed some absolute studs in that last draft. And we'll have to see if they actually turn out. But let's get to this draft. I'm pretty much set on who we're taking here. We're going to make some trades for picks. We have to at this point. But there's just so many guys in this draft class that I am like genuinely interested in to try and pick up. Like, look at this. Jean-Julien is showing up as a medium franchise winger at 122. I'm pretty sure he's going to be elite at this point, but how about this guy as well? Isaac Franco, 1-year ETA. Like, seriously? In the queue again? There's just so many good players. So we're going to have to try to line all our picks up here. It's going to require some decent amounts of trades, but let's not really hesitate here. Ottawa's going to be picking at number 1, potentially. So I don't feel so bad taking a pick away from Ottawa. It's Seattle that did terrible, but even then, do we really need Vyacheslav Karpotsev? I don't know if we necessarily do, but he looks like a really good player still. I would like to have him in the team. But, you know, if we can't get a deal together for him, so be it. Apart from that, are we going to see any big name players retire here? I mean, obviously there was some crazy point getters, but yeah, like Huberdeau, Scheifele, Point. Braden Point was over a point per game. Same with William Nylander. Those guys are just phenomenal 2014 picks. Shea Theodore, 825 points. That's crazy for a defenseman. The next closest is Seth Jones with 752. This is a really good draft class in here. And how about the retirees as well? Vasilevsky, Gibson, Hellebuck, Jari, Sorokin. Yeah, that's a big name retiree class. All right, did we lose anybody from our team? I highly doubt it. We didn't have anybody that old. Oh yeah, we did. Connor Duar calls it a career after getting his Calder Cup. So good for him. You'll love to see it. And that is a hell of a career from Connor Duar. So there you are. And doesn't look like we lose any of our coaches, so that's good to see. And I think we're pretty much ready for this draft. I've got the players that I want lined up here on my spreadsheet, and hopefully we can make this work. So it's going to be a big first trade coming up right off the bat. We're going to be trying to send Marco Rossi away for a ridiculous sniper, but you know, if we have to trade a guy like Tarnstrom or somebody else like that too, that could potentially be a move. We've got enough good players here that I don't feel the need to really trade away a ton of players, but we'll see how it goes. Some guys, you know, a guy like Samsonov, I'm not really feeling as a player. Like, he just hasn't developed, so he could be on the trade market too. We've got so many wingers in here that, you know, we probably don't need to go for a guy like Karpotsev, but that's okay. So let's go for it. Let's try this deal with Ottawa. It's going to be a bit of a strange one, but we do need to clear the cap space out as well. So let's get to it. Let's see what we can do here. We're going to offer a trade to the Senators, and it is going to be a big deal here. So what we're going to do, they've got Prosser as well. He's a hell of a forward. All right, so no, what we want is that first overall pick. I would not mind trying to pick up somewhere around the 60s or the 90s mark. That would be phenomenal. And apart from that, you know, let me just see what else we've got here for picks. So I'm going to try to grab a couple extra picks off of these guys here. We're going to go pick 67 as well as pick 133 or so. Yeah, okay, we'll go with those two as well. So a third and a fifth. And in exchange, I don't want to trade away picks. I like the picks that are coming up here, but skaters matching the block, they don't necessarily want, they want defensemen more than anything. So if we run a Jenner, Jenner, Crane, and Rossi, they would have too many skaters. All right. What if we swap out for Bhutan? I'm okay with that. I know it's a 16th overall pick. They'd have too many skaters. Skaters that match their block. Guys that I don't actually feel the need to go and pursue. All right, we need to do two. So let's try this. I'll go Ripien. Oh, they're over the salary cap now. Great. So where's all your money lying? A guy like Rutger McGroarty. Okay, I mean, let's go McGroarty and Marcus Pettersson instead. Does that go through? That's a decent deal. I would love to pick up these picks. I don't care about the players so much. But does that go through? It does not. All right. Let's trade a future first. I'm okay with that. Along with the rest of this deal. Now does it go through? Yes, it does. Perfect. The other reason I liked that deal so much, guys, was just because we traded off Bhutan and Rossi, who are both like Ottawa or from around Ottawa kind of area. So I think that's a really good deal, and then we'll pick up, obviously, some other prospects with those other picks, too. All right, guys, so we're essentially just going to try to trade for a handful of Boston picks here in exchange for what is pretty much just going to turn out to be a bunch of our own picks. So we're going to go, I'm going to hold on to the last pick of the draft, but we're going to trade like our, there's going to be a lot of picks. So we're going to do that one, probably that one as well. So that's 3 picks. We don't need their 6th rounder, but we do those 3 picks and Probably not a goalie, but maybe a guy like, who's a nice easy piece to trade. They don't want anybody. Cool. All right, what about Connor Crane? Maybe we go with a guy like Mark Paris at this point, just because, you know, he kind of dropped off last season. He's 25 now. That might not be the worst move ever. All right, so we're going to try to run this deal. It should go through, and of course it does. Nice, easy pick trading, and we're going to land more picks that I kind of want to actually select at. All right, so with the first pick of the 2033 NHL entry draft, the Minnesota Wild are proud to select out of the KHL, Vyacheslav Karpotsev. And he is an 82 rated, oh, he's got 1T, okay. 82 rated sniper on the left wing. We know how good he's about to be. I'm kind of glad Ottawa didn't get this guy, to be completely honest. He looks so good that, yeah, he's going to turn into something real nice. So we're going to go right over to pick 32, see how the remainder of the first round plays out. And not very strong, to be completely honest. Some decent picks here in the mid-range. Hines was okay. Malhotra, okay, so it gets better towards the top end, but really not that great a draft overall. Nolan was 73 rated, same with Rizzi. Yeah, not much to really pick from here. Yonkman was also only 73 rated, so I think I will settle for exactly who we got there in Vyacheslav Karpotsev. We'll see how good his 1Ts are. If he's actually a good shooter off of the one-timer, then that would make sense to keep that on him. But we'll see how he plays. And apart from that, we are going to go straight for Willie Clark as our next selection. Rogalski looks okay too, but we're going to go with Clark. He's got the X factors and he's a good-looking defenseman. Pinch and cycle should fit well, and he is a, how good is he? He is a 62 rated low elite defenseman with shutdown and yoink and truculence. Perfect. All right, on to our next pick, and I'm going to go off the board a little bit here, and we're going to go select a guy that I really want here in the what's closer to the third round. It's not Damian Pronger, actually. It's not Kearns. It's not Porter. Where is he? It's this guy, Rodin. I think we have to take this guy here. He's a 3-year ETA. He is 19, but again, really good shooter. Sniper, again, he's a center this time, but 66 rated medium elite Magnus Rodin. Looks like a phenomenal pick as well. We're going to let him develop, but man, he looks like a good one as well. And yeah, that's a good pick there. Timonen goes in the second round. Not a bad grinder there. 67 rated Norina. Probably should have selected him over Rodin, but you know, it is what it is. Next up, I'm not feeling Chapman. The guy we were going to go for instead here was going to be Damian Pronger. He is 20, but he's a 2-year ETA. And Pronger turns out to be 66 rated as well. So again, another good two-way forward winger there. We'll see how he turns out. And then for our final pick of this round, we don't get Kearns, but I'm okay with that. We don't get Chapman, who is actually pretty good too, left-wing playmaker. But instead, we are going to go with the other goalie here, Chance Porter. He looks okay, and he turns out to be, how good is he? Chance Porter is a 56 rated medium elite. Not terrible by any means. A little bit better and younger. And we will take him. All right, so for our next pick in the third round now, the second round was loaded with medium elites. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 elite players in one round. That's pretty impressive. That's better than the first round was, to be completely honest. So, all right, in the second round, we're going to go off the board, and we're going to take this Isaac Franco guy. He put up really decent numbers, 50 points in 65 games. He's just 18 years old, and he's looking like a crazy good player. Very passionate person, gets emotional, but is driven to win. That's exactly what we want. And he's, oh my god, he's 70 rated at 18 years old. He's got a great shot, good physicality. He's a total power forward, but we will take it. He is our second best selection in this draft after, of course, Karpotsev. My goodness, this is turning into a draft for the ages. So over to pick 79, and we're going to miss out on Pedersen, but not too much else there. And yeah, Franco is a legit player. So next up, we're not going with Mika Ranta. Nope, we are going to go with Pavel Ponikarovsky, our second goalie of the draft. Again, 18 years old, and he's 63 rated. This is a legit goalie here. Ponikarovsky didn't play a lot, but his potential was all there. And maybe we found our goalie there. I really hope so. So, all right, at pick number 104 now, after Ponikarovsky, we're going to see just about nobody get drafted here, actually. Oh, Ranta was a high elite. That was a mess up on my part, but we'll take Ponikarovsky. I could have gone with Ranta, but no, well, it is what it is. All right, up next at 104, we're going off the board now. And I think I have to take Jean-Julien here. Or Jean? I'm saying Jean-Julien. Right wing, left wing playmaker? No, he's a sniper, and he is indeed medium elite. So for a fourth rounder, who knows? He might turn out, he might not. And after that, we're going to go with another goalie here in, what's his name? Francis Montador? Yes, sir. 19 years old, 3-year ETA on this guy, potentially. So he's got to be up there in rating, and he's 62 rated. Okay, so not bad, but again, I was pretty sure he was going to be a medium elite, which he was. And that's 3 elite goalies, again, that we've drafted that hopefully one of them will turn out eventually. That is the goal here. And, all right, anybody else elite go in the 4th round? No, not really, but Sterling, Kenneth Sterling is a decent player. And Hammerlick, of course, we knew Matvei Hammerlick was going to be good. Or Matij, however you say his name. So, up next, after those picks, I've got some pinned players in here. First one being Reginald Generous. Very likely going to be a power forward again. And low elite, hopefully. And that he is. Beautiful. All right. 55 rated, 19 years old. Looks good. And over to pick 192 now. So the end of the 6th round. And we definitely missed a bit of picks here, but were any of them good? Doesn't look like it. Filatov was okay. Low goalie there. All right. After that, okay, Schroeder was decent. He wasn't bad. Nicolishin was okay too. Same with Hugo Vanier. Yeah, Vanier is going to be a decent player for Anaheim eventually. And apart from that, wow, Cowan as well, or Cohen, Ezra Cohen. That was a decent 6th round. I have not seen a 6th round that good in a while, but we are going to take Jakub Hayduk here with pick number 192, end of the 6th round, and he turns out to be 52 rated. Okay, not too shabby for a 6th round pick. He is a grinder, but, you know, that is what it is. And for our 200th pick here, I traded for this one because I wanted this guy, Reese Sider. Didn't put up phenomenal numbers, but big body, hopefully going to be a 2-way forward and low elite. And that he is, 51 rated as a 7th round pick. We'll see how he turns out. And for the final pick here, I don't actually know who we're taking. It's going to be just an off-the-board pick likely. And yeah, Sider looks like the only half-decent potential 7th rounder there. So, do we go with Frischt, however you say his name, or Obergauer, or Ferguson, or somebody else? Because I know there are other players further down in this list. Alright, so for our final pick here, I think I'm going to go off the board and take Charlie Orr. And he turns out to be a low top 4 defensive defenseman. Not terrible, but not the best ever either for our last 7th round pick. And I do believe he was actually 55 rated there. So, overall as a draft, look at the names. Karpotsev's guaranteed to be a good NHL player, if not a crazy franchise player. Clark, Rodin, Pronger, Porter, Franco, Ponikarovsky, Julien, Montador, Generous, Hayduk, Sider, pretty much everybody has got NHL potential. It's really more just a matter of who's going to develop, who's going to turn into those go-to guys for us. I mean, I'm going to be betting on guys like Franco, Ponikarovsky, Rodin. We'll see about Clark. Obviously, Karpotsev, I have no doubt in my mind about. But now we've got some cap space to play with, and that is what we will get into in the next episode. So, if you guys enjoyed that one, watching this team turn into just a crazy, solid franchise for the next 10 to 15 seasons, and make sure to go down below, drop a like, subscribe, hit notifications, and show your support in that comment section as well to possibly get featured and, you know, maybe even force moves like what Duke just did there for us, because really without his comment we likely would not have pursued a guy like Ponikarovsky, or not Ponikarovsky, but Karpotsev, who is just an absolutely phenomenal player. So yeah, anyways, that is going to be it for me. This is Etanius signing out, and until next time.